Sports, where athletes bring us career-defining moments.
The Miami Heat, they've done it. They win their first championship in franchise history.
Tomlinson off the left side. Tomlinson sidesteps. Hello, history books.
Dynasties being created and destroyed.
Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler. Unreal.
And of course, the unthinkable.
This is caught. Diggs. Sideline. Touchdown. Unbelievable. Vikings.
And me? Well, I'm here to give you the truth. The one aspect that will never lie, the numbers. YouTube! What's going on, man? Back at you on another video. It's your boy, Numbers Fan Jay. And we are now finished with the conference championships round in the NFL playoffs. So the Super Bowl is now set. We made it. We made it. Wild year. Very entertaining year. I didn't see either of these two teams making it to the Super Bowl before the season started. So congratulations to both teams. But we do have some news. So let's get into the news. Gary Kubiak will be announced as the Vikings' new offensive coordinator very soon, whether that be today or tomorrow. Doesn't really matter. They're saying that he secured the job. He secured the bag. Last time Gary Kubiak coached in the NFL was 2016. He was the head coach of the Denver Broncos. Prior to that, he was the head coach of the Houston Texans. Made them relevant. The last time that he coached, remember, as head coach of the Denver Broncos, 2015, they won the Super Bowl. Peyton Manning, he retired. Wasn't that good that year. Neither was Trevor Siemian. The year after that, they went 9-7. Wasn't really, nothing really special, but defensively they looked good. So this is kind of weird that the Vikings signed him as an offensive coordinator when he's known for his defense. It's kind of weird. But we'll see how that works out. Who knows? Who knows? He did step away from the game for health reasons. He was not fired or anything like that. He stepped away from the game to get his health back together. Coaching is one of those jobs that just takes a mental toll on you. You have a lot to deal with, a lot that people don't get to see. So glad to have Gary Kubiak back. We'll see what he can do as offense coordinator. In other news, Eli Manning is retiring after 16 years, two-time Super Bowl MVP, 7th all-time in passing yards, touchdowns, starts, and completions. He has the 3rd longest starting quarterback streak in NFL history and 210 consecutive starts. He also has the Giants record for completion percentage and interceptions. So a little bit of good, a little bit of bad there. I was never a big fan of Eli, but this is, of course, I'm not going to be the guy to make this about Eli being bad. I want to congratulate him on having a lengthy career in the NFL and reaching the NFL pinnacle, which is winning the Super Bowl. So congratulations to Eli on a lengthy, successful career. Now we're going into the analysis on the conference championship games. We're going to start with the Titans at Chiefs game. I picked the Titans and I got this one wrong, which means that I got all 3 Titans games wrong this postseason. Not surprised at all. King Henry was held to 69 yards rushing, -8 yards receiving on 2 receptions. Caught both passes behind the line of scrimmage. Just terrible. I don't understand why you would even throw it to him if you're Tannehill. Throw it in the ground. You're losing yards. Why would you take a loss of yards? Throw it in the ground. Speaking of Tannehill, he went 21 of 31, 209 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers for him. No turnovers in this game overall, actually, for either team. The Titans were 30% on 3rd down, though, which is terrible. It's terrible. And that's partly because they were forced into some long 3rd downs. They were stopping Derrick Henry on 1st and 2nd down. Now it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12. and you're forcing Ryan Tannehill to have to pass, which he hasn't had to do a lot of this year. So, very uncomfortable situation for him back there, as he wasn't the starter coming in the offseason, which that is not an excuse. He should be able to make these throws, make these plays, but the Chiefs did a great job bringing blitzes, bringing pressure on third down, forcing him to get rid of the ball quickly. And the only answer they seemed to have was a slant route, which I was just like, is this all y'all have, is slant? Against the blitz, just throw a slant? Like, come on, man. They're covering that every single time. But anyway, Sammy Watkins had 7 catches for 114 yards, 1 touchdown on 10 targets, which is the most in this game for any receiver on the Titans or the Chiefs. So that shows the Chiefs' versatility. They're not one-minded. They can throw to whatever receiver they want to throw to. The Titans gave Mahomes all day with consistent 3-man rushes. Like, it's baffling. Why would you rush 3? Why? I don't understand. There's no quarterback in the NFL that I would ever want to rush 3 against, unless we're on the goal line. If we're on the goal line, okay, run 3. Man, sit back 8 in coverage. He's going to have to throw the ball eventually. If he wants to run, we have 8 people coming up to make that tackle. But never rush 3 in the middle of the field. Like, it makes no sense at all. He's just going to stand back there like he did. Stand back there, pat, move around, pat, okay, throw. Now you got a completion because the receiver's open after 8 to 10 seconds of running around. Like, it's ridiculous. But anyway, the 7-minute drive in the middle of the third quarter for the Chiefs that they scored a touchdown on really set the tone for the rest of the game. This really put the game in the Chiefs' control, in my opinion. It's not what we're used to seeing. We're used to seeing them run down there and score really quickly. Well, this game, they took a page out of the Titans' book. They decided to methodically move the ball down the field, and they scored a touchdown. That really just took the heart out of the Titans, in my opinion, because they didn't do too much more after this. But congratulations to the Chiefs moving on. Got that game wrong. Packers at 49ers. This was an easy dub for the 49ers. They went up 27-0. Defensively, they had 3 sacks, endless amount of hurries. It seemed like every time Aaron Rodgers wanted to throw the ball, he didn't have more than 3 seconds. They forced Aaron Rodgers into 2 interceptions and a fumble. So it's 3 turnovers for one of the quarterbacks that seemed to be one of the greatest to ever play the game. They held Aaron Jones to 56 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. Devontae Adams was held to 138 yards, which I know it's not held, but he's known for scoring touchdowns. And he didn't score any touchdowns in this game. They turned the touchdown machine for the Packers into a chain mover, and that really took a different mental toll on them. When they're expecting one guy to score and he's just not open in the end zone. He's just not open. That's just what it is. What it is. Jimmy G went 6 for 8, which is a big story in this game. Only 8 attempts, 77 yards passing, no touchdowns, but no turnovers. And why pass the ball when you have Raheem Mostert, 29 carries, 220 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns, 7.6 yards per carry? Why would you even pass it? Like, there's no reason to pass it. So I'm surprised that he even had 8 attempts, honestly. But no turnovers for the 49ers this game after having 2 last week against the Vikings. They cleaned it up. And nothing scarier than a team that's just not making mistakes. There's nothing scarier in football because you're going into the game thinking, like, how are we going to make plays if this team is not turning it over at all? So, very something to think about for both teams. For the 49ers, you got to think about how you're going to keep taking care of the ball. For the Chiefs coming into this game, how are you going to take the ball away? Are you going to be able to rip it? Because the Packers weren't able to do it. But player of the week for me, Raheem Mostert. You just 7.6 yards per carry, man. That's crazy. On 29 carries at 220 yards. That's crazy. The bad thing about it is the 49ers have 3 running backs that can do stuff like this, man. They have 3. Unlike the Titans, who only had Henry. They only had the big guy. 49ers have 3 completely different backs that can do this stuff. Coach of the week for me is Andy Reid. How could it not be Andy Reid? We talked about his 1-5 record in championship games. Now he's 2-5. He finally got that monkey off his back, it seems. He's headed to his second Super Bowl as a head coach. Different team. Maybe he'll have a different outcome. We'll see. Who, what, and why. I know it's time. I know it's not Monday. But we're still going to flip that L to a dub, man. We still going to do it for you. 3 biggest questions from the conference championship rounds. 3 most important questions. Who, what, and why. Who was most responsible for the Packers' blowout loss? Do you blame Aaron Rodgers? Do you blame that O-line? Do you blame the defense, who didn't stop anybody from running the ball? Specifically, Raheem Mostert. I think it was just a collective inability to show up. Just didn't show up to play on either sides of the ball. Coaching all the way down. Like, there weren't enough players with that sense of urgency. I just didn't see it in the Packers. I didn't see it before the game nor after the game. That is what it is, man. What did the Chiefs do to stop Derrick Henry? We talked about the reason, or the only way that you can stop a big, powerful back like Henry is to hit him at the line or behind the line. You cannot allow him to get past the line of scrimmage and get his momentum going downhill because it's too hard to stop. Chiefs found a way to do that. Are we going to say that the Titans never saw that before this season? I think they have, but the personnel and just the determination, the will to win was there for the Chiefs. They just said, hey, we're not going to be beat by this guy, man. Y'all going to have to find somebody else, and the Titans couldn't do it. They were too sold on handing him the ball, and that's how it turned out. Why? Why can no one stop the Chiefs in the second quarter? This year, the Chiefs won the second quarter 12 times. They're 10-2, including the playoffs, when they win the second quarter. They won the second quarter again last week against the Titans, 14-7. I'll say this. So the first quarter in the NFL, usually the first drive, is scripted. And everything after that is you responding, you adjusting to the other team. The Chiefs do a great job of that. When they get that break at the end of the first quarter, they're looking at everything that they did wrong, everything they could get better, which all teams should do, but the Chiefs just do a better job executing that. They do a better job putting emphasis on the things that they need to get better in the second quarter. And when I say scripted, for those of you that don't know, I don't mean rigged, even though a lot of people believe that the NFL is rigged overall. In this case, I'm talking about game planning. So, first drive, you already know what plays you're going to run. You're going to run these 6 plays. Hopefully, these plays can get you to the end zone. If not, okay, you know what not to do. But that's what I mean by scripted. The rest of the game is just, okay, this is what they're going to do because this is what they did on the first drive. It's that type of thing. So, thank y'all for watching, man. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Hit that like button, man. Please, please. Talk to me. Comment, you know. Do what you gotta do. Hit that notification bell if you're new. Thank you for your view. I appreciate you. It's your boy Jay. I'll see y'all next Thursday. We out of here.